I opened the Stan Jones Mallard Lodge in 2012, and from like maybe 1982 till 2004, I had a smaller hunting lodge, which was the Cattail Hunting Lodge. Took a lot of people and did real good, and then I got out of hunting from 2004 till 2012, and my son died, and so there was about 8 years that I didn't feel like hunting. And then had a lot of people that wanted to come and hunt on my property, and so they asked me, was I ever going to open and do anything again? And I finally decided I would build this lodge, and today I take people from all over the world. I have, through the 45 years of me farming, I started buying land, and all the land that we hunt on, most all, there's a couple of places that I rent that are good places to hunt, and we will go there and duck hunt a little bit, but most of the land, most of the places that we hunt is on my property that I've bought. I farm somewhere around 7,000 acres, maybe 7,500 acres, and pretty well all rice. We rotate a little bit, and so on a normal year, I would have 2,500 acres of soybeans and 5,000 acres of rice would be normal. Some of my rice ground gets, 7, 8, 9, 10 years in a row, and that's because they're really good duck places, and rice just does better for ducks. And so sometimes year after year I plant rice there. If you were in South Dakota, you'd probably be pheasant hunting. If you were in Kansas, you'd probably be deer hunting. Well, this place that we live is really good for duck hunting, and people come here because they want an Arkansas duck hunt. And we duck hunt every morning from maybe say 6:30 till 10 or 10:30, and we usually have our limit. Get through with the duck hunt, come in, and in the duck hunting, I've got 52 places that we duck hunt. And these 52 places do not get hunted every day. Maybe only 5 or 6 places will we hunt, and then the next day we hunt another 5 or 6. So I always have a lot of places for ducks to sit and rest and eat, and we keep a lot of ducks in the area. And all of these places that we hunt are on fields that I farm and sloughs, and I have some green timber and cypress boughs and stuff like that. And then after we get through duck hunting, come in and have a really nice big breakfast about 10 or 10:30, and then we do a pheasant hunt every day at about 1:30. And we do 2 types of pheasant hunts. We do a continental or a tower shoot, where maybe if it's a corporate group here, 20 people can go. And 20 people can, sometimes we kill 250 pheasants. So we do a lot of shooting, and it's a lot of fun. If it's an individual group of say 6 or 8 and they want to take dogs, we have pheasant dogs that we will walk these strips and shoot pheasants like that. I have 2 or 3 sources that I go and get my pheasants from and bring them here. And pheasant is not natural to where we live, but the birds that I get are really fun to shoot. And it gives the hunters that, I have hunters from every state in the United States and a lot of other countries, but when they come here, and if they get finished with, just say they kill their limited ducks at 8 o'clock in the morning, I just didn't want them to just lay around the lodge all day. So we offer a pheasant hunt. That way they can get out and walk 2 or 3 miles and shoot that afternoon. And by the time dinner gets here at nighttime, we have a great dinner. And it makes, if you come and kill a full limit of ducks and you kill 10 or 15 pheasants, you've had a pretty good day. When I first built this lodge after duck hunting all of my life and knowing that we could be real successful in duck hunting, I thought I want to do more than just a duck hunting lodge. And so I built this garden, and lots of people come here. We have weddings March, April, May, and June, September, October, and November. Every weekend is usually full with the weddings. And then we have business meetings that I could just name a ton of people that hold their business meetings here 2 and 3 days, and some of them even have as many as 150, 175 people. And then we do team building events. We've probably got 20, 25 different team building events that these corporate people will, just to establish camaraderie and get to know each other better, they do team building events. I had a group of people who had never, didn't even know what an AR-15 was. And it was a bad time to kind of introduce it because that Florida shooting had just happened. But these were people who had never knew anything about it. And I talked to the CEO and he said, you know, he was a little skeptical about us including that in an event. But all of those doctors got to shoot an AR-15. They got to hold one for the first time. And when they see stuff like on TV, what happens? It just familiarizes them. So we do a lot. We do long range shootings with rifle, skeet, trap. There's ladies that come out here that's never shot a pistol, never. And after they shoot it, they love it. They want to go get a license and they love shooting. So there's just something about the outdoors and shooting. And we have bow, where we shoot bow and arrow, events that we do with bow and arrow, the aqua golf, just 25 different team building events that we do. One of the other events that we do is we do a farm tour, and that's where that we have a couple of buses, can take 30 or 40, 50 people, and we can drive around a lot of rice fields, corn fields, peanut fields, soybean, and some of the rivers and sloughs. And on this farm tour, we can just show people what small rural Arkansas is about. And it's the rice fields, you know, we plant rice and we harvest it and put it in the bins and we sell it. But by what I'm doing with hunting and the team building, I can use these fields all winter long for duck hunting. And that's a whole different world and a whole new different income. When you run a lodge or you run something like this, getting to know your clients and the people that come here is real important. And for me to establish a relationship with them, and sometimes I go to their state, I go to their home, I stay at their place. I'll fly on their airplane or their jet somewhere and go do something with them. It's not just all about them coming here. My relationship, you know, I get to know these people. I like getting to know new friends and doing stuff with them. But it's real important to, I've never got into it with anybody. In 45 years, I'm not going to get into it with people. We're going to sit here, and if they want something different, if we can change it, we're going to do it different. Whatever it takes to make, I want this to not just be not just a hunting trip. I want it to be an experience. When they leave here, I want them to say, you know what, I had about the best food that I've ever had. When they leave here, I want them to say, those guys worked their tails off and we killed a lot of ducks. And you know, when they get in bed, clean sheets. I want it to be an experience. When the river gets out and we go on the river, it's just a whole different world. And it's back to the old days. It's back to the very authentic of hunting. And I want this to be the real deal when people come. And I want it to become an experience where fathers bring their kids and their sons, and they, year after year after year, they come here. You know, people ask me what I'm going to do with this, and you know, I'm not getting any younger, but just to be honest with you, I've never really thought about that. I'm going to work till I'm 85. I've got 20 more years, and I'm going to go as hard as I can for the next 20 years. So retirement is not even a word that I've thought about. I have no intentions of slowing down or retiring. I like what I am doing and I'm going to continue to do that. Now I know there'll come a point in time that my daughter and her husband and my son and his wife, you know, we'll probably sit down and, you know, maybe 20 years from now when I'm 85, we might sit down and try to figure out, you know, what are we going to do with this? But they may be so old, they may not be able to do it at that point in time. So I'm going to cross that log when I get there.